Must have never had Nigerian jollof, Ali stick and go. Mix it up like Riddick Bowl. Mix Holyfield with Smoking Joe. What's that? Smoke. Travis got 2 fights, 2 wins, and KJ got no fights, no losses. Tunde was the first guest on the show. You know that we only sit down with bosses. Wax on, wax off, Mr. Miyagi, master the craft like master.
Please welcome firstly boxing out of the red corner.
College, money made, glamorous ting.
What's going on, people? Welcome to another episode of The Red Corner. I'm Travis J.
And I'm KG. And we've got a very special lady right now. It's the first lady that we've ever interviewed, fam. I'm honored.
For real.
Really, it's dropping a bomb, fam. It's Sedem Ama. Listen, but Travis, you haven't asked me about my tail of the tape, bro. What's going on?
Sorry, yes. What's your tail of the tape, brother?
Gee, I'm 0-0. Never fought, never lost. But if I did, someone's getting knocked out, bro.
Cool. I believe you.
Damn.
What is your tail of the tape, bro?
I'm 2-0, bro.
Talk to me.
50% knockout rate. Half the men that entered the ring with me, they left on their backs.
That's right. Sedem, what is your tail of the tape? You're here. Talk to us.
Yeah. So 10-0, 2-time national champ and London champion. Yeah.
Now, wait, what we're gonna do? Yeah, we're gonna pull it back, and you're gonna say stuff so I can drop my bomb, but you gotta give me that space.
Okay, got it. So you didn't give me a memo.
No, we didn't know. You rolled off more stuff than we did, innit? So let's go again. So what's the tail of the tape?
So I'm 10-0. I'm a national champion.
Come on. What else you got?
Haringey Bots Cup champion.
Woo!
And London champion.
Nah, that with a round of applause. Wow. So we're going places. Wow. Trav, I'll let you set the pace, Trav.
So we like to get the backstory on fighters. So tell us, what was day one of your introduction to boxing? How did that happen? How did it come about?
It was so random. I got into boxing a really strange way. I work in public relations, and anyone that works in the comms or media industry knows that it is full on, as in you'll be working like 16-hour days, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, I was working with loads of different clients, amazing brands, but behind the scenes, people don't know. Anyone that works in PR, you do a lot of heavy lifting. And I think me, my team, we were just going through it. You know, it was long days in the office, and then afterwards you find yourself in the pub, like literally the local pub. And it's a never-ending cycle. And one of my colleagues was like, you know what, let's just do something different. We were all into sports in some kind of capacity anyway.
Yeah.
And a boxing gym was where we found ourselves, literally. And that was my first introduction to a boxing gym.
So wait, someone was like, okay,
let's just get fit.
Wait, hold on. Understand this. We just one day with the clients, yeah? Work's finished. You know what we should do? Work harder. We're getting
No, but if you think about it, anyone, like, you know, dealing with other people, I'm not even going to say clients, dealing with people, period. Sometimes, you know, you look at someone, you think, I just want to punch you in the face, you know? And at the time, that's what we were going through with our clients, okay?
You know what? You know you're a boxer, you know, because I don't naturally feel like that. You know?
I'm showing myself within 2 minutes.
No.
Punching clients in the face.
Sometimes you look at them, or, you know, like you'll see the memes on like social media where it's like, as per my last email, you know, like,
that passive aggressive vibe.
Yeah. It's so crazy because that's why I studied at university, you know. I studied. I thought I was going to be in public relations. I thought that was I didn't go for it.
It's harder than what they teach you in school, right?
Yeah. I said, because someone said, this will suit your personality. You like to talk, do public relations. But then, I was like, I think I've got to do comedy. So it's so funny how that happened. But anyway, onto your story. So you're in this gym. You've gone the first time. You're with your friends. What has made it happen? What gave you the bug that said I need to go on another level
and compete?
Well, okay, so it was Afawi Gym in Brixton. So it was a small gym. You know, it was just so random. We went there. It was a good vibe. Everyone there were, you know, people that have regular jobs, and you're just trying to find an outlet, just let off some steam. And it was really hard. You know, like at the time I was doing a lot of powerlifting, a lot of running, and I thought, this would be light work. And then that first session, I thought I was going to die, you know? And bearing in mind, obviously, it's just a boxercise type class, but it's not for the faint-hearted regardless. And you know, I enjoyed it. It was just the fact that you can work really, really hard. You couldn't think about work. You can't think about anything else that's going on in life. And I just really loved it. So I kept going, bearing in mind work was still mad. So I couldn't go as regular as I wanted to. But then it went on pause for a bit because my friend who took me initially, she left the country. And I thought, oh, I don't want to go by myself. It's mainly boys in there. You know, I thought, you know, there was that bit of like nervousness. Fast forward a couple of years, I was at another company and we had a membership with Gymbox. And Gymbox, you know, they do loads of great sort of classes. Right. That's their thing, really. Their classes. And there were amazing coaches there. So I went to Gymbox. I said, okay, I'm going to pick up boxing again because I need it, you know, letting off some steam. And then that was it. I just completely fell in love with the sport. I've always been a boxing fan anyway. But, you know, actually going through the sessions, training, it just completely changed my life. And to be honest, it massively impacted my mental health. So I just thought I have to keep doing this to be able to push forward in my career. And that's where it went from there.
What was I love that story, man. But what was the family? I always like to ask about the families. Yeah. What was the family response to, you know?
Okay, so
how did your mom react?
My dad is a reverend.
Wow.
So I grew up in a very Christian household, and I had a really good job. I was accelerating through the ranks, and they were just like, "What's the meaning of this? Like, why do you need to be getting punched in the face?" Because at this point I was sparring, you know, getting a little bit, And they were like, "We don't understand." And I had to tell them, this is my purpose. Like, I found my purpose.
And I like what you did. I like what you did with there when you said purpose.
Purpose is a powerful description.
Linked with the word. It's kind of linked with the word. You know, you kind of hit the reverend with a low blow.
Yeah.
Get into box. You said, "No, I found my purpose." You kind of got to sit back and be like, but let's talk about this purpose. You know what I mean? So what? So now you've told them this is my purpose. What was the next part of that conversation? Did they just accept at that moment and said, "Okay, go on"? Okay.
They respected what I had to say, but I think secretly they were hoping that this was just a hobby, like when I was powerlifting or when I was running. It was just, you know, this too shall pass, essentially. Yeah. But I kept going, and then I said to them, "Guys, I'm gonna do a white collar fight. I want you to come, and I want you to invite all the people in the congregation, your friends, the neighbors,
the church boxing trip."
I said, "This is what we're doing," and they were like, "Sorry." I said, "Yes, I want to like do a white collar fight." Again, they were like, "Okay, hopefully this is just, you know, loads of people do white collar fights. Like, it's really popular." And I think they thought, okay, she's just a working girl, gonna do a white collar fight for charity. Then we move, and then they came to it. And I think they were pleasantly surprised, you know, like they were like, "Oh, she actually can box." And everyone that was there, you know, I had loads of people come out, like imagine the whole hood coming out. And, it was at York Hall, so it was just an amazing experience all around.
Wow. So you took York Hall as well, not even anywhere.
Right. So I was like, it was York Hall. I said everyone has to come.
Yeah, not even close to the church.
Taking the congregation to York Hall is crazy.
The London Mecca of boxing.
Listen, when we retold the story, when you reach the pinnacle where you're hoping to go, they show that moment of taking the congregation to York Hall, because I need to see that. When you walked into the ring, though, where obviously, because now we're here with the church group, we're here with the church. When you were putting in work, were there shouts from the cheering? Like,
you know what? Yeah, they were supporting it because they were like, "This girl can actually fight." So they were supporting it, and I had, you know, they were so proud. They were sending it, as in I had family members from Ghana, because I'm my Ghanaian. I had family members overseas in America actually messaging me like, "We're so proud of you. Like you
that's amazing.
You jumped on this and you've actually stuck it out." And training camp is not easy, even though it was obviously white collar is not the same as doing a pro training camp or anything like that. However, it's still something you work hard, and they were like, "You've seen it through." So I think they were all collectively proud of that.
So now did you quit? So at what stage did you say, "You know what, I'm gonna change my working hours to take this even more serious, or have you not got to that stage yet?
Well, what happened after that was, the adrenaline, everything. I won that fight and I said, I have to do something with this. Like, this just can't be the end. So I kept training. And then my friend, he was training at Double Jab at the time, which is it's an amateur club in New Cross, Southeast London. So he was like, come along because you can get some actual work, because it's all good you training at gym box, but those are all novices as well. You need to actually start upping the levels.
Yeah.
And so, I went to Double Jab, got some good work. And then I was working with a pro coach at the time called Aaron McLeish. And he really just taught me the basics of boxing, the fundamentals, and sort of that partnership with him and going to the amateur club together just helped me accelerate. So I've been blessed, to be honest, because I've had knowledgeable people around me who has helped me, because people would be like, where did this girl come from? She's had been boxing since she was 6 years old. I joined the amateurs when I was 27, 28.
Wow.
So, you know what I mean? Like, my journey's different.
Yeah. So now you're embarking on a career as a boxer, right? But you've got this background of PR. Now, this feels like a match made in heaven as far as a clash of expertise, because a lot of fighters, they come into the game, don't know how to promote themselves, don't know what steps to make as far as the business side of things.
Right.
How do you feel taking those skills into this arena?
You're absolutely right. It's a good question because it is like transferable skills, but I'm used to being the person managing talent. I'm the person behind the scenes. I'm writing your little crib sheet. I'm doing your, writing your questions in advance. And now I have to be on the other side. So it's taking some adjusting to. I was telling him I still work in PR. I still work full time as an account director. Okay. So I was even doing media training for one of my clients recently. And everything I was saying to them, I was thinking I need to be taking this on board because I'm going to be that person as well.
Right.
Right. Oh, so you're still mixing it. So right now you're still mixing it. Do you ever find it difficult though? Because
every day
takes a lot out of you. Then you got to come back and get into the gym to be ready.
Every day. Honestly, some days I'll be training and I'm exhausted. You can see the bags under my eyes because I've trained in the morning because I'll still train twice a day. So I wake up really early, then I work, and then I train in the evening. And it is nuts, and it's something that I've had to deal with this entire time. But because it's all I've known, you just have to keep going. Right? Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Wow. And so even with that dedication, I think even the family members start to realize, she's serious. She's
exactly.
So
you know what? I'll be real. Like, it was hard because at friends, my first are like, "You're not coming to the party. Why not?" And I'm like, "I've got training in the morning.
That's right.
Coming to my birthday. I've got training tonight. I can't come." They're like, "Okay, but sparring, you can spar tomorrow." "No, I can't. Like, today's my And it's really hard. Like, people that did it from when they were young, everyone's used to their lifestyle. So, it's nothing to really adjust to. But for me, it was a complete upheaval. Like, I had to completely change everything, from drinking. I was never really a drinker anyway, like casual drinking to staying out late to all of that kind of stuff. You kind of have to dead that because you can't take that with you if you're trying to perform at a good level.
High level
thought, man.
So going
into, when do you plan to turn pro? Do you have plans to turn pro anytime soon?
Yeah, definitely the plan is to turn over. To be honest, like before lockdown, the first lockdown happened, we were meant to be doing the elite championships. And then that week that I was meant to compete in the semis, then everything completely shut down. So then we were hoping, okay, September, it will be rescheduled. Here we are. March is 2 months away, and we're in lockdown 3. So the plan was always to do the elites, and then whatever, like Haringey, for example, that's usually in June, etc. Finish the season strong and then turn over. But now I'm just leaving it to God, to be honest, because for me, I just want to be active. That's the bottom line, and I love what I'm doing. And I'm on an upward trajectory, so it's just about keeping that momentum going and learning. Like, that's the main thing, because I don't have the experience of doing it for 15 years. Like, I'm literally learning on the job, so that's my main goal, really.
Quality. So even because women's boxing, and I just want to, I didn't want to call it women's, but I just boxing.
This is the thing. On this podcast, we keep saying like the one thing that needs to change is calling it women's boxing.
Yeah, just boxing. Because
I get why though. I hate it as well, but I get why you kind of have to differentiate the two, because a lot of people aren't on board with the fact that women are, doing it. to be honest, and it's still a male-dominated sport. So I get why people have to kind of separate the two. Like, it's not ideal, but
I'm hoping that, because even there was a time when it was like all female card. You know, when that fight camp, and you say to yourself, that's going forward. Even UFC, they're way further down.
It's a different level. Yeah.
It's like, we know it's not like women's UFC. It's like, no, this is the card, this is the number.
She's regularly headline.
He's right. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. So I think it's taking that point and saying, no, we can see some good fights. Even that was it Katie Taylor versus Pursoon? Yeah, that was fantastic.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Right? I want to ask you this question actually. Do you reckon that the round should be a bit longer?
I definitely think that we should be doing 3-minute rounds, and we should be doing 12 rounds as well. Because at the moment, for championships, it's 10-2s. And okay, take it from when you become elite in the amateurs, you go to 3-minute rounds, just like everyone else. So then you turn over and then you have to go back down to 2. But most likely in the gym, you're training 3 minutes anyway. Like me, I mainly 90% of my training is with boys. I rarely train with, I don't really get work with girls. So I'm training 3-minute rounds like the boys, and then I have to now tone it down for 2. I don't know, like I prefer the 3-minute rounds, to be honest. You get to settle down your work. That's what I'm saying. 90% of my sparring trainings with men. And I prefer it. I'll be real.
But you know, it's mad. So the first time that you've done a spar, I don't know why I have an extra question, and you've fought like a guy. It like the ego, because I know for myself, if no one's in the gym, it's all right. But if you're tucking me in and there's bare man in there,
let me tell you something. Like a lot of the time, I'll go to gyms and stuff, and the boys are looking at me like, what's this girl doing here? Unless you know who I am, that I can actually box. They're like, oh, we don't want to do. They'll say, oh, move around with her, and they don't want to move around because they're like, it's a lose-lose. You either get punched by a girl or you punch up a girl. So which one is it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I box for Repton now, and at Repton, when I first got there, it was the same, more of the same, and then they realized, oh, she can actually box, so it doesn't matter. She's gonna hit us with some shots, so we have to do our thing regardless. And sometimes I don't even want to do too much, because if you don't want to embarrass nobody, and I'm there to learn. I'm not there trying to tuck people in. So you know, I give everyone the same respect, whether it's a girl, whether it's a boy. I give them the same respect. But why I was saying I prefer sparring or training with boys is because I find that they're very competitive. The boys that I've trained with anyway. I'm not saying it's not a generalization, but they're very competitive. And because I'm a big, strong girl, they're not looking at me like, oh, you know, you can't do the same amount of press ups. No, you're gonna do the same, and you need to outwork us. And that's what I like. I need that, and I think that's helped me actually throughout all my bouts as well. Because I get in the ring and I'm like, you can't hit me with anything that I haven't felt before. Because I fight at 69 kilos. These girls can't hit as hard as a 69 boy. That's a fact, you know.
That's an advantage. Don't give up all your trade secrets. Don't tell us.
No, but that's just a fact, though.
Yeah. Wow. So what fighters do you look at, like, you know, top flight? Do you have like a female boxer that you look at and think, yeah, that's somebody who I want to emulate, the kind of style, or do you just kind of watch, like, who are your heroes, your boxing heroes?
Well, overall, Marvin Hagler's like my number one of all time. Okay. I study him. I watch him to this day. I don't box like him at all because he was all about war, and I like my face, so we're not. But Marvin Hagler, for him, it was just it was obviously he's very talented, but it was his drive. You know, everyone knows that he would go and tuck himself away in whatever mountain or whatever resort, and he would train, you know, morning and night, and he just had that drive regardless of whether he was a world champion or not. So he's somebody I always look at. In terms of like current fighters in the amateurs, I mean, there's so many talented females. Like even in the UK, we've got some like, you know, like a Sandy Ryan, for example, or Rosie Eccles at my weight. Like obviously look at the girls at my weight. Yeah. And then even overseas, there's another girl called O'Shea Jones, and she's like number one in the States, and she's a really talented fighter. So you obviously keep your eyes on everyone, you know.
Of course,
So I mainly look at them, and then in terms of the men, I mean, Errol Spence Jr. for me, he's a dog, and I love it. And he can. I'm a boxer puncher, so I like to watch boxers. I'm not really here for all the brawling stuff. And Errol Spence, obviously Bard, Terence Crawford. Those are the guys that I really look at now.
Who have you got in that one?
Ooh. I mean, I give it to Bud just because Bud has different facets to his game. Not that Spence can't work him out, but he comes with switch hitting. Yes, he's there to be hit too. And that's kind of endearing as well, actually, because he shows he's human. But his finishing game is crazy. He'll get hit and he'll be like, okay, cool. And he will finish you. And that's what I like about him. He's got that warrior mentality. I mean, that fight is I'll
no
watch that fight.
It's a tough one. The time, literally, like it's like how we're feeling that day. It's like, oh, maybe. Yeah. Wow.
But I look at different fighters for different reasons. You know, like I look at James Toney because of his movement. Like his trunk movement was insane. You know, I look at Pernell Whitaker because he was so defensive as well, like James Toney. I just look at loads of different fighters for different things because like you want to be a complete fighter, right? Like being good at one thing is not going to help you go all the way. And so I look at different fighters for different elements. Yeah.
That's amazing. Listen, as I said, I'm telling everyone now so they know this. Me and Travis, we've decided that we can't just be talking to these fighters and not living their life. Yeah.
Right.
So we got something coming in the future where we're going to meet up and we're like you. So we're going to live like Sedem. Yeah. Whatever you're doing, we're doing. So we would have to, when you're going to do the PR, we'll be going with you to do the
A day in a life, yeah.
Yes. A day in a life. And then when you go and train, we'll do the training and you'll give us a challenge that you want us to do as well. That's what something because I think you'll just get to show another side of the you know, so we're gonna live like
the nutrition as well. What's your diet like?
No, we're gonna that day.
Whatever's your diet, we're taking it on.
Your diet. We will have exactly what you eat. Like, and the portions as well. I'm gonna be stressed. Oh my
God. I eat about 6 meals a day, and they're like small portions. So you're gonna have to be there with me with my rabbit food. It's all tasty though, but it's like just small portions. There's no rice and stew, and there's no. I don't know what you do.
Big portions. I have the big. You know when the plate is packed.
Oh no, we can't be doing that.
I look forward to it.
No, that sounds fun.
Oh my God, that's gonna be wicked. I could just get into the office and just sitting in the corner, just doing nothing. All right, cool. Well, anyway,
it's been a pleasure talking to you, man. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Taking the time.
Really enjoyed it, and look after yourself. All the best. We'll be watching.
Yep.
Thank you.
Let me ring the bell, actually. Yo, people, thanks for watching the Undefeated Podcast. Make sure you
like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, and all that good stuff. Make sure and come back, bruv. Tell a friend, tell your grandma, tell your dad, tell everyone, tell your cousins. Let's go.